You can't talk about anything, can you? I want to talk about post-war privileges and post-war shittiness. Look how crappy Germany is. Anyway, I'm not getting into this because people get particular. I actually want to talk about post-war privileges. Now, you all think World War II had something to do with the Jews, didn't you? Don't you? Because 6 million gypsies were killed in death camps, and they also happened to be Jewish. And you think it's something explicitly to do about Judaism? Why were there no Muslims? Muslims are Jews. They're a specific type of Jew. They're like the favored Jew, the favored Jew, the Jew that the father liked was Joseph. Not all like the brother killing, bunch of stupid inbred. Excuse me, other Jews that are in the world. I have to be very PC about this. Sorry, I don't mean Jews. You know what I mean? I mean because Jew is just a derogative term from the band that they wore on their arm. That said Vajay backwards. It's like Hebrew looks like Besh. I don't know what the letters. I used to know. Right, I'm starting to. It's Vajay. It's a 4-letter word. It was Weji, and it was backwards. Hebrew is forwards or backwards, whichever way. And they used to think it said Jew written on their arms, and it didn't say Jew. And this is a silly word that doesn't exist. It doesn't mean anything. There's no etymological grounding for the word Jew at all. It's Hebrew, apparently backwards to an English-speaking person. It's no such word. Vajay is closer to Ouija, like a Ouija board. Vajay, like a Ouija board. It's, yeah. I was like a very committed Hebrew scholar. You know, there's probably few people in Ireland, particularly among priests, that have studied Torah and Maimonides or Tanakh or any amount of Judaism. Like, you know, no one in Ireland can say the Hebrew alphabet. You know, I could. Anyway, I still loved it, you know. Anyway, I could play 4 or 5 hours of Bob Dylan's music. He turned out to just be a travelling salesman and a throat-cutting monster. Cut the cable, you know what I mean? Cutting throats, Bobby. But anyway, so you have no idea how much I used to love these people. I say people. How much I used to be so committed. And nothing changed in my life except these people came into my world. Ireland has been flooded with 400% an influx of certain people, and they're all over here now. And also the rate of children disappearing and religious absurdity and Holocaust and murder in my country has gone through the roof in these past approaching a decade, about 7-8 years now. So I've been learning quite a lot now of the antecedents of certain things. Children are disappearing and being killed on the grounds of religious absurdity, because I know in this book that it says that the worst thing you can do is kill a young, intelligent male. Christian, even better. Young, intelligent Christian male. Now, I just want to talk about post-war privileges. Post-war privileges. Germany can't do much in life. Just there is no such thing as Germany. You know, there is no such thing as Germany at all. Half of it's Switzerland, American, France. The other half is really Russian. And there's nowhere to be German. There is no such thing as German. German doesn't exist. It's illegal to be German. Although, like, your man was an Austrian, and the Swiss funded everything, and the Swiss pretended not to know about it, and the Dutch, and the Norwegians, and the French, and Denmark, and everybody. But you grew up in a world where the Germans were blamed, explicitly. So they have post-war anti-privilege. Fuck, they can't do anything. You know what I mean? And yous are all like this. I know you're all like this. Anything German. Like even Rammstein. get it. They were born after the war, and they grew up as post-war babies. They knew the least about anything. Rammstein, they've known less than you know about anything. They know less than you, but you'd still call them all. Are you a nationalist? How do you feel about it? And again, it was nothing to do with the Jews, but again, this is post-war rhetoric and post-war privilege. Post-war privilege, okay? I live in a country, we say this name in its native language, it's Aryan, Aryan, Ireland, Aran, E-I-R-E-A-N-N, Aran. I don't like my country, don't worry. I'm not a nationalist. I hate this country. There's a bunch of stupid, proud and paddy cap wearing farmers with terribly passive and retarded, stupid. I can't stand this country with a passion, so don't worry, I'm not a nationalist of any sort. The point of this video that I'm trying to make very clear is that post-war privileges and post-war unprivileges, so Germany were explicitly blamed and have extremely unprivileged. And then some other people were wrongfully highlighted as victims. When there was a lot of kiddie killing going on all over Europe. Lots of the original Holocaust, this is sarcasm, was killing children all over Europe. Christian children all over Europe. I do feel like that kid from American History X, that knows more than everybody and is trying to take care of his family. And his Derek Rockefeller upstairs sodomizing my ex-girlfriend, claiming to be my brother. And he doesn't know anything about anything. Post-war privilege. So, what I'm saying is, people are flooding to my country in 400 percentile rated. They are raping, they are murdering, they are sodomizing, they are aborting. Abortion became legal in this time, in Ireland, in this time. They're running porno clinics. Porno clinics, yes. Abortion clinics, pornos. They are dominating communities. They are harvesting orreries, rosaries, and harvesting names. They are dominating the government. They are enslaving the government. They're prostituting Aryan women. They are murdering young children, traveller children, Black Lives Matter, young kids that disappear. They are murdering children up and down this country. So Holocaust means killing young children. They sarcastically said, if you're going to kill us in our innocence, we'll kill you in your stupidity. And it wasn't a Holocaust, it was sarcasm, and it was called Holocaust. They take everything and turn it against you. Like, they really do take everything and turn it against you. Like, if you look at Israel, fascism in Israel is absurd. Fascism in Israel. They're all dressed the same and doing the exact same thing. Like, fascism in Israel is right. Nationalism in Israel is absurd. Like, they're so proud of themselves, okay? They turn it against you, right? And they had to post-war privilege to turn it against you. I even see this in Iran, Iran called the world kleptocratic, and the world are kleptocratic about Iran. Everyone wants to rob Iran. Iran are sitting on an ocean of oil, a convenient ocean of oil, and everyone's like, why do you get to own that oil in the desert just because you happen to live upon it? And everybody wants to fuck Iran. Like, everybody wants to topple Iran and mess with Iran and get in there and steal their oil. Like, if it was like oil under America, it'd be no doubt it's American oil. But there's oil under Iran, and they're like, do you really own the oil under your country? And the world are kleptocratic about Iran, big time. That's why they're all around Iran, like Iraq and Baghdad and Baghdad isn't Iraq, Iraq and Afghanistan, and they're encircling it from the weaker countries surrounding it, they're kleptocratic. But they call so the world are kleptocratic about Iran, but then they call Iran kleptocratic. They do the exact opposite all the time. They just completely call it the exact opposite. And they call Iran kleptocratic. They're the wealthiest bunch of jihads in the world, but they turn it inside out. DW News, you know what I mean? Whoever fucking gypsies, and I think it's Netherlands or Denmark that run that crap. Oh, I can't stand that crap, man. But anyway, post-war privilege, or apparent post-war privilege. You think World War II had something to do with Jews? It didn't. It had to do with gypsies. But anyway, Jews have a post-war privilege, and you can't say anything. You just can't say anything. No, my entire country has been enslaved, sodomized, right? Me personally, I fucked, raped, sodomized. My mother's been fucked, raped, sodomized, destroyed. All my friends, ex-girlfriends and family are being systematically hunted and date raped and starved and destroyed by certain people. Okay? All these Christian orreries and all these Christian names are being systematically hunted and raped. Okay? I know this is happening. My friends have been murdered. Okay, and my government has been ruined and overthrown. Not my society, I tried to work, and when I've been persecuted by Vandenberg, Rothstein, Goldstein, Rosenberg, and they would fucked and tortured me while I was trying to work. I can't work. My society is being destroyed and raped and murdered. My nation has been overrun, you know what I mean? And now, I'm going to be labelled a monster if I make a National Socialist Worker Party. You know what I mean? I'm not going to do it. But what I'm saying is, you can't do anything. You can't defend. They can murder, rape, sodomize, and I know what they do. Rockefellers, pissing and coming. Excuse me, I don't use these words. That's their words they use. I wouldn't use these words. Piss and cum and fuck and butt fuck and torture and sodomize and fish hook, and they rape and they sodomize and they defile and they destroy. They use terrible profane prayers like they're the most sacrilegious people in the world. Backwards praying, doing backwards, really messed up, abusing names of lords and high lords in vain. Like, I know about Kabbalah very well. You're not supposed to even. I was such a good Kabbalah student because I hardly studied it. I knew about it, but I hardly knew about it. They learn about these things for opportunity and exploit. And they defile, they piss, and they urinate, and they excrete, and they defile, and they destroy, and they covet, and you'll be trying to work, and they'll be fornicating with your wife, they'll be fornicating with your children, they'll be fornicating with your orreries. And if you try to do anything about it, if you try to, in this post-war privilege or this post-war predicament, if you try to do anything about it, you'll be called Adolf Hitler, won't you? You'll be very moronically called a fascist, which is stupid. I want everyone to be happy, equal and free, that's fascism. or a nationalist. I'm not a nationalist, I hate my country, but again, my nation is being raped by a sudden influx of certain people who came here suddenly in their 400 percentiles. And you can't do anything about it, can you? You can't do anything. Like, it's a post-war predicament, and they have post-war privilege, that if you say anything about them, these horrible, murderous, rapist, crucifying 900 years of Ahab and Jezebel, even Jesus Christ, the most understanding and merciful, brought it against them, murder, rape, stoning, torture, abuse that you have in your blood, a bunch of fucking Joseph killing inbreds. I'm not afraid, I'm Jacob, I am Israel, like I am a born Israel, not an Israelite, they're my friends and family, I am a born Israel, you know what I mean? You're claiming to an Israel from 6,000 years ago and claiming to be special, like it's the only thing you've ever achieved in life. When Israels are born all over, Israel are born all over the world. And these people have a history of fucking sodomizing and raping newborn Israelites. The Bible is full of it. Bible is full of it. Even King David was Judean and they killed him, tried to murder and fucking destroy him. Bible is full of it. Killing Israelites. Because they had an ancient claim to Israel 6,000 years ago, and that's all they go on about. But anyway, they seem to have some sort of post-war privilege where you can't say anything, can't do anything. You just have to bend over and get fucked, raped, sodomized, tortured. I've watched my mother's face disintegrate. I've watched my friends and families, their orreries, their rosaries, their names be filched, raped, and harvested. And again, like, you know, I've heard about my friends being gang date raped and murdered and fucked by these Jews from fucking Florida and New York City, and their little champion Jezebel, Nazi royalty Miley Cyrus. Don't break my heart, my achy breaky heart. Her dad was a child prostitute, you know, a Christian child, what is, and their mother or grandmother was Luftwaffe. So they're self-mockery. And it's really funny to me that all the traitor Jews and all the Nazi royalty are off in America having sex together. All getting back together again. All the traitor Jews and Nazi royalty. Yeah, no joke. No joke about it. It's funny, you know, Treaty of Versailles, whatever it was, Council of Versailles, Council of Trent, whatever the fuck, I can't remember my history. And it was very validly brought against us, like, oh, why are so many Jews running death camps? Why were so many Jewish people running death camps? Why are so many Jewish people in charge of death camps? And then you have things like Schindler's List, where they try to explain why a Jew might be running a death camp. Schindler, he was a victor, and they try to eloquently explain a phenomenology of how Jews are running death. They're trimming back the olive branch. Why are there so many Jews in charge of death camps? Well, they weren't blamed, were they? You blamed Germany. Why were so many Jews running death camps? And there was, you know, like in Dirty Dancing, when certain people tried to remove themselves from Christian prostitution and Christian abortion. Oh, and by the way, you should research who owns all your abortion clinics. I'd imagine perfect, purest Holocaust, the most useful, innocent children available. And who's running all your porno clinics? Who's selling these all into Christian prostitution? I don't know, maybe you forget. I'm not saying anybody in particular. But anyway, post-war privilege, isn't it? You can't say or fucking do anything. Otherwise you're Adolf fucking Hitler, aren't you? Your family can get raped, fucked, sodomized, cheated, ruined, destroyed, butt-fucked, sodomized, will piss on your face, will piss on your image, will come all over your fucking family, will sodomize you, will fucking raise you. And you can't do anything about it. You can't do anything about it. You can't say anything, you can't do anything at all. Because then you're Adolf Hitler. They call you a fascist or a Nazi or some nationalist. already said this. The only problem with nationalism was the Holy Roman Empire gave one nation entire power and authority to fight Russia, which is what you're doing with Zelensky at the moment, which is pretty ironic. The EU is designed to prevent this, and you're doing it again. You're giving a national dictator fascist support to fight Russia. And that was the only problem with fascism as well. Fascist support. And Christian fascism. A lot of these people practicing self-condemning, you know what I mean? And they feel like they have a right to self-condemn. Like, it's all over my country. Like, they're killing children. Okay? They're killing children all over the country. Even police and military are doing it. Like Liberia. Even they've got them involved. Made them see the light, maybe. See the benefits. Are killing children all over the place. And yeah, and that's becoming fascist, you know. This weird creepy Samaritan culture is becoming fascist. Fascistly accepted. You know, talk about fascism, you fucking gypsies. Sort of fucking crazy. They turn it on you, man. They just turn it on you, you know what I mean? Post-war privilege. So anyway, it's illegal to be Rammstein, and Jews can kill, fuck, rape and sodomize, destroy your entire country, overrun you, they can murder your children, they can abduct your children, they can sodomize, they can piss on them, they can come on them, they can cut them throat, they can feed them to jellyfish and octopuds, and you can't say or do anything about it, can you? You can't say or do anything about it, because then you're Adolf fucking Hitler. Bunch of fucking inbreds from Jacob, you know what I mean? From Jacob, these are a bunch of sorry fucking brother killing, sorry sodomite inbreds from Jacob, Israel, from the fucking daddy himself. I like Joseph, and Nefertiti was okay, you know what I mean? She doesn't get much of a mention. Read between the lines, you stupid fucking.